My name is Leanne Hadley, and this is Pieta. This is our sixth lesson as we make our way through this beautiful book called The Serviceberry. It is a tiny book, but it is profound, and I'm so glad that you're here tonight. Tonight, we're going to look at the claiming abundance as the true reality. So it's like, what is true? Is it true that we live in a time of scarcity or that we live in a time of abundance? What are we going to claim as our truth? So I've lit our candle. We are in sacred space. Thank you for being here. If you want to learn more about Pieta, please go to leanne-hadley.com and you can learn more about our spiritual movement. Take a breath and we're going to do our Pieta prayer, and then we'll just talk a little bit about claiming abundance as the true reality. Let us pray. Let me be in the world with nothing to prove, letting go of all expectations and judgment. May I give and receive compassion. May I care for others and receive their care. May I love deeply and receive love. May I be in the world with nothing to prove. May I be Pieta. All right. Tonight, we continue through this book. And she's been talking about abundance. And abundance seems like a nice thing, like, oh, let's be thankful and grateful for abundance. But tonight, she really gets serious in the book. And she says, we live in an economic system, capitalism, where nothing is ever enough. We also live in a world of capitalism where everything is more, more, more. And she says, it's really hard to understand abundance when everything we see and everything we experience reminds us that we need more and we need more and more and more. So we operate from a system of scarcity, and this is what she has to say about it. She says, Serviceberries show us another model, not the commodity model, the I need more, there's never enough model. It shows us another model, one based upon reciprocity rather than accumulation, where wealth and security actually come from the quality of our relationships and not from the illusion of self-sufficiency. So she says, what if we quit measuring our lives with money and we started measuring our lives with friendship? Do we have deep friendships? Do we have meaningful lives? What do we have? If we started measuring our lives that way and got away from money, it feels bizarre. It's like, of course we're going to measure our lives by how much money we have. We need money. We have to live. We might starve to death. And she says, actually, security will come from our friendships. And, we don't like this idea of being dependent on other people. This is so counter to the American dream of like independence. I can do it myself. I can make enough money. I can take care of myself. And this sort of John Wayne attitude is not serving us. She goes on to say, hold on, it's over here on page 78. What if scarcity is a cultural construct, a fiction that fences us off from a better way of life? And she says, what if scarcity is actually robbing us of the things that we should and the time that we should be pouring into relationships, friendships, caring for our neighbor, doing things that really matter in this world? What if scarcity that we think is giving us a better life? So I have a scarcity sense, and now I'm going to save my money, save all I can, keep going, and that's going to give me a good life. What if that is actually robbing us from the life that we're intended to have, that is filled with abundant friendships, an abundance of time, an abundance of serenity, an abundance of not worrying? What if that is what is real? What if abundance is real and scarcity is the wall that keeps us from living into an abundant life? That's deep. That's heavy, isn't it? If we don't get there, though, if we stay in a scarcity model, it leads to hoarding, to holding on to everything that we want to let go of. But when we believe in abundance, then we're able to take the gifts that God has given us and pass them on. So one way that we can fight against this kind of, I'm hanging on to everything, is to just start giving it away. I had a therapist once who said, fake it until you make it. So act like you're happy and you'll become happy. Act like you're not afraid and you will get over your fear. Fake it until you make it. And I guess in this tonight, what I want us to do is fake it until we make it. And I want us to take a moment and, I forgot our Bible story. So our Bible story is a little boy who shares his loaves and his fishes. You know this story. Jesus has gathered with the people. He's talked to them all day, and they're hungry. And he says to the disciples, I don't want to send them home hungry. Let's feed them. And the disciples are like, we have nothing. We do not have enough to feed them with. And one little boy has enough faith to say, I'll give what I have. And somehow that multiplies and everybody has enough. So when we start operating and say, I have enough, I don't need all of this. In fact, it's become my ball and chain. I have enough. Then we start to feel secure, and out of that security, we can give what we have. Like that little boy, he didn't worry that he had to share his fish. He could have held on to it. It's all I've got. It's all I've got. Instead, he shared, and he and everybody else in that group had enough. So tonight, I really encourage us to become abundant by practicing abundance. So our question for tonight is, look around your house right now. What do you have an abundance of? And what are you willing to start giving away tonight? Like put it in a bag and give it away. What do you have? Ponder that. Come back together and share. We just did this tonight with another group, and what was really surprising to me was that once you say out loud, I have, 50 boxes of Kleenex, or I have, all these scarves that people have given me, you almost laugh to think that you can't get rid of those. But something in us keeps us from doing it. So first of all, look at what you have. What are you going to give away? And what are you hanging on to, and why? What is the emotional part of not being able to let go of stuff? Let's spend some time pondering that, and then hold each other accountable. So next week, we're going to come together and say, did anybody actually give something away? It sounds easy. It is harder than it sounds. So thank you for being here tonight. Your question is, what am I going to give away? What do I have in this house that I can give away right now? And that'll be the beginning of operating from this sense of abundance rather than scarcity. All right, enjoy your evening, and I will see you next week. Thank you for being a part of Pieta.